Welcome back, America. Video number 4, going over some of David Stua's stuff that I have here. I wasn't going to do this, but then I just found more and more information. Put those videos out and people sent me more stuff, and we're going to take a look at some of that. Let's go right here. I had some people tell me that it's Jimmy Cassels that represented the county, city's health district, whatever. And I mean, this looks like it would be true. Jimmy Cassels. Let's see. I can assure you, I know and understand, and we'll have to send cost estimates, yada yada yada. Not every entity is approaching requests the same manner. Oh, look. Janet R. Cassels. And this was from 2013. Janet R. Cassels. Maybe that's why she won't drop it. Let's listen to David Stua's most recent attorney.
You're kind of breaking up. I can't fully understand what you're asking. Repeat your question again?
Would you say that the judge was biased in your case that you had with David Stua?
I can't comment on that because there has been an accusation by David that I was ineffective. He's made other complaints, so I'm not going to comment on David's case because it's still pending in court.
Well, the reason I'm asking is I've seen the video. I've looked over the documents. I don't understand how the indictment, the arrest warrant, or the search warrant, all three couldn't have gotten thrown out. There were so many falsehoods and inaccuracies.
I do. The problem with that is the Angelina County District Attorney Janet Cassels was not willing to dismiss the cases. I could not convince her to let those cases go, and that there was insufficient evidence. At least that was her argument. She believed, and she got some information. So those questions need to be answered by Janet Cassels.
She doesn't answer her phone, return phone calls, respond to emails, nothing.
Correct. But that's what I'm saying. It is the district attorney's office that created the problems by filing the cases based on what they received from law enforcement and choosing to pursue those cases.
Well, but shouldn't the judge have? I mean, when especially at the examination trial way back when Joe Martin was still on the case. I mean, when they showed the video in open court and it showed. I mean, the indictment and the arrest warrant both state things that are untrue. When you watch the video, he never says anything about his circumcised male genitalia. He just says I'm for circumcision.
I agree. I argued those points on.
So if you argued those points in court, how did the judge not dismiss this stuff? This attorney blames it all on Janet Cassels. But if you were able to get that evidence in front of the judge, then the judge, being a unbiased and impartial person as he's supposed to be, would have surely dismissed this.
I argue those points on behalf of David in defending him, aggressively defending him. We cannot convince some other people, like the district attorney's office, for whatever reason they have in their mind that there was an offense, even though you, I, David Stua, and maybe others agree there was not an offense. Looking at the same evidence, it was a district attorney's office who was not convinced that there was no offense and who was not willing to dismiss the cases.
But the judge should have...
And to continue prosecuting him. So, again, it's got to go back to the prosecuting attorney's office.
So Janet Cassels is the reason that David Stua has not been able to get his charges dismissed. According to Albert Tranza, David's most recent attorney, he's now been saddled with Scott Tatum as his new attorney. And from what it looks like, it's going to be much more of just the same. The Tatums represent a multitude of public entities, much like the Cassels. Luann Tatum is the attorney for the city of Corrigan. So if you try to request anything out of Corrigan, and I encourage you to just request anything, and just see how well she knows the Texas Public Information Act. I can assure you that it's worth just getting the hilarious response back from her. So this is another letter from Janet Cassels, and it says, unfortunately, this is not the first time you have caused needless waste of taxpayer money. As you well know, this firm represents a number of public entities to which this has happened. It would be untenable under the circumstances for our firm to allow or offer employment to anyone who had been so injurious to our own clientele, not to mention the public at large. Janet R. Cassels, attorney at law. This was back again in 2013 when she was representing the city's health district. So, it just makes you wonder, is she an impartial person as she's supposed to be? Because even the DA is supposed to be impartial and just go on the evidence. This is another one. It says from Jimmy, but it's Janet who signed it again. Is this the same? No, it's different. Maybe the same as the first one we saw. Yes. Okay. This is just a little cleaner. This is closer to the original, I think. So, y'all can pause and read this. I don't know why he calls it hateful. I don't think it's hateful, but it does prove that she had prior dealings with Mr. Stua. Sharon's. So David tried to get a change of venue. They, of course, didn't let him because that would not be in their best interest to have him change the venue. It would be much better, since their interests lie in keeping him from making any public records requests. Their best interest would be keeping it in Lufkin, in Angelina County in Lufkin, where they have spread over 30 articles since 2011. That's 2011. All these are Lufkin Daily News articles, all the way up from 2011 until 2019. And there have been more since. But then there have been more by other, like I pointed out in the last one. So as you can see, Stua was going after Judge Ball for making false reports. Judge Ball is also the judge that signed the warrant for arrest. He also presided over an evidentiary hearing, which is noted in this article. Stua was originally charged with the offense represented by Attorney John Reeves during an examination in February by Justice of the Peace Precinct 1, Judge Bill Ball. Ball said Stua's charges had probable cause. How can he even make that determination when he signed the arrest warrant? How can he even preside over an examination hearing? This is another thing. Full video shown by District Attorney Joe Martin. Stua asked 3 different people if they wanted to see his circumcision. Well, we've gone over this video before.
Brian Booth.
He never asked anybody.
Thing I want to do. Oh, I'm doing a Facebook Live.
He never asked anybody if they want to see his circumcision. He says, I'm for circumcision. I decided I would be for circumcision. Do you want to see?
Hi, I'm for circumcision.
Okay.
Really? I can prove it to you. Oh, looking back at me, Steve, I'm coming.
He never asked anybody if they want to see his circumcision.
He called the cops on me for saying circumcision the other day in the library over there, so I decided I should be for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Like a plan.
That one's running to get away from it. He's running. He must not be circumcised. Look at him. Look at him. See, he's running. I gotta ask this guy. Pardon me, sir, but has your friend been circumcised? He's running awful fast.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
You ain't checked him out?
Nope.
Well, they called the cops on me for saying the word circumcision in the library the other day, so I decided I'd be for circumcision.
Oh.
I got proof.
You do?
Yeah.
Whoa.
You want to see?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, brother said I wasn't good.
Now, again, if you haven't watched the other parts of the videos, the other things I put out on Mr. Stua, that is the young man that he's accused of having asked if he wanted to perform a sexual act. I don't see that fitting the crime, but you know, this is just evidence of another journalist who did not do any kind of homework and just repeated what he was told by the boots. That's why we call them bootlickers. The full video was shown by District Attorney Joe Martin in February. Stua asked 3 different people if they wanted to see his circumcision. It's not how it happened. It would have been nice if you were going to make this report and put this out to the public if you had actually gone to the trial and watched the video yourself. Obviously you didn't, or you did and you just straight up lied to the public about it. Neither one's good, as some people like to say. Here's another report by Lufkin. So this was the first one. That's the last one that he has noted here. 30 different articles in the Lufkin Daily News between 2011 and 2019 that mentioned David Ray Stua. And they don't seem to think that he needs a change of venue. I mean, the man's been plastered all over Lufkin, all over Angelina County, all over a lot of Texas as a pervert. You know, they're accusing this man of sexual conduct by a child. Again, or attempted sexual conduct by a child. Again, for the video we just watched where he simply stated what happened and stated that he was for circumcision, and I don't see it, but a lot of people say I'm not even a journalist, so maybe that's why I'm not brainwashed like the rest of them. Again, this is the arrest affidavit that Billy Ball signed. So he had prior knowledge of the events. And again, we just watched the video. He never said, do you want to see his circumcised male genitalia? Some might assume that, but that is an assumption on their part. What is this? Oh, this is the warrant for search that they even have marked down as 2017, which was a year before the video was ever taken. 2017. We went over this before. Paul White, I believe. Oh, it could be Stacy White. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But I believe it's Paul White. I don't think there was another. This one has the correct date on it. 2018. So is this a notary public? Or is this the judge? Because that's definitely the same signature. I guess a magistrate can be a notary, though. Here's my letter trying to receive the video from Janet Cassels last year. It says that the attached was received May 13th, 2020. Your request is for materials that were also included in another prior TPIA request in which confidentiality was requested of the Office of the Attorney General. The public information that you requested are materials that were previously ruled confidential by the Texas Office of the Attorney General in OR 2020-16680. I have also attached a copy of that opinion for your reference. Neither the pending status of this matter nor the related subject matter of the requested materials have changed since that opinion. It is common practice for protection from disclosure to be sought for matters involving any pending investigation or prosecution. That was me requesting the video. I put it in through their bullshit web portal. I request a copy of the Facebook Live video, David Ray Stua, East Texas reporter, made on December 6, 2018, and shown in open court on February 15, 2019. I will accept an exact copy of the video shown in the courtroom, as long as no further redactions, if any, are made. Thank you, and may God bless. And that's what she sent back, was what you saw. This is the OR opinion. Received a request for all records. This was a request for all records to a specific case. I wanted a particular record, and they just sent me this. It's okay, though. I got the video through a different source and have been able to publish it now. It's talking about used or developed in an investigation. This letter ruling is limited to particular information at issue in this request and limited to the facts as presented to us. Therefore, this ruling must not be relied upon as a previous determination regarding any other information or any other circumstances. I guess they don't know how to even read an OR opinion. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Miss Cassels. I mean, it states right there in the OR opinion, you claim exempts you from having to release it, that you can't rely on that to keep it from people, but you do. You just, I mean, you common privacy rights and work product. I mean, it's ridiculous. So this was Teresa Squires, Joe Martin, Altaranza, Transa Law, Paul White, don't know who that is, or that, Carrie Kirby, David Stua, oh yeah, we read this before on his website. More than welcome to pause and read. It's usually pretty good. He doesn't pull any punches when it comes to getting public information. I don't think the court will find it amusing when you told me to twist off, go nuts, and you will sleep better in your office. Furthermore, you was rude to me that day. I left your office after your statement. You followed up with the security station in the main lobby. You told 3 officers sitting there, "Help, I'm in fear for my life." Again, pause, read this stuff. Usually worth reading. Just gonna breeze through these last few things here. So this is him trying to tell them that they could easily put the records up to where we could see what is in them, but they're not. Their web portal looks a lot like that. Looks a lot like that, where you put in the information. Looks like that, where it brings up all the cases. Looks a lot like that when you click on one of the documents. It brings up this register of actions. And here's where it differs. When you get to this register of actions and you click one of these, instead of getting the document that you clicked on like you do here, you get a message saying you do not have access. Go ahead and try it. Angelina County Court Records. They will not allow you to access anything on the internet. You have to make a request. And then they try to force you to use the web portal, even though they have been sued and been told by the Texas AG's office that they can't do that. They continue to try. Here's another email to Reaver Squires, Paul White, Carrie Kirby. So, again, pause and read. Addressed Commissioner stating that Stuart's request for about 2.7 million documents from his office alone would take about 200,384 hours to fulfill. At 2 hours a week, Ball said, it would take his staff 1,927 years and would cost $31 million to fill the request. Again, pause and read. It's just another one of the stories that Stu was working on. Falsity of his statements. When he stated them to show they are false, I am providing an accounting of the documents that I have received. 2017, a simple portion of these documents were released to me at no cost. The attached file indicates the accounting as indicated in the articles as per my statement. These are electronic documents. They're easy generated with a few clicks from the mouse and a few parameters entered into Odyssey database. They should correct the story, but they didn't. You know, I kind of picked on KLTV, but Lufkin Daily News is the biggest culprit in not reporting true and accurate news. You know, they still make all these reports, and they could have easily gone and that last one, the 2019 one, could have easily gone and actually looked at what was said, because that was in the warrant for search, and seen that he didn't say that, but instead they just chose to report what was told to them initially by the Boots. So again, I'm not going to sit here and read all these. Pause and read them. They are definitely worth it. This is an email that he sent to Reba Squires. Makes me wonder why Judge Ball seems to have it out for Mr. Stua. Again, pause and read. This was one of his last requests he put in. So, these are... Mr. Stua was investigating Judge Ball for lying to the office of what is it called? Oh well. He was investigating Judge Ball for making false reports to the OCA. Yeah, if you get any news from Lufkin Daily News, I would definitely cancel that subscription. Is this what I want? Yes, it is. Okay. So Paul White is the most recent judge. This is Angelina County Community Supervision and Corrections Department. To David Stua, Dear David Stua, this is an email from Paul White sent to Caleb Bunn. Mr. Bunn, please ensure that Mr. Stua is promptly notified of the deactivation deadline and that cessation of the monitoring shall be deemed as noncompliance with bond conditions for which a revocation warrant shall be issued in connection with my request, Judge White's request that the state file a motion to revoke bail. He's a judge. This should definitely, sending this out to the Judicial Conduct Board, let them look at this, because the judge should not make a request that the state file a motion to revoke bail. The state does that on its own. Please immediately notify Ms. Tranza and me of future change in GPS monitoring, i.e. continues or is terminated. Thank you, Paul White. I don't know what the E stands for. David Taylor, recovery monitoring indicate that it's due to balance. And this is why, because his balance of whatever this is, it was late. But they had him fired. Different county employees went to his job, 3 different jobs at least. He had a warehouse job. He got fired from it because county employees kept coming up there harassing his boss. He was working at Pilgrim's Pride. County employees came up there and got him fired from that job. And he was working for Tyson Foods. Same thing. But then they want to revoke him because he's not able to pay for the GPS monitoring. But I don't know. That seems kind of like punishing the poor. I mean, even if he didn't have a job and couldn't pay for it at all, how are you going to revoke him? Because he can't pay. I mean, that's just, he's got to have a court-appointed attorney. I don't see why the court wouldn't pick up the charge for the GPS monitoring since they ordered it. But then again, I'm paying $50 a month for supervision, and I'm not even getting monitored. You know, it's kind of crazy how these courts get away with this stuff. But again, this is the main part that I wanted to show is Paul White saying, my request that the state file a motion to revoke bail. That to me just shows how unimpartial he is. How he had it out for Mr. Stua, how the county, every employee in the county, including the judges who are supposed to be impartial, had a vendetta against Mr. Stua. And it looks like they're going to be able to follow through with it. Y'all make sure to watch the previous videos I've done. No, wait. Real quick, show you how this differs from other counties. Normally you would be able to come here in each of these documents. You could click on, and if they were public records, you could see it, like an indictment, public record. But of course it says user does not have permission to view this document. See, unlike the one that Mr. Stua showed for Fort Bend County, they have taken their stuff in Angelina County offline. So you can click here, and you can just click on the first one. That should be, I mean, it's the position of the case. Nothing. Indictment. Nope, can't see that. How about a standard discovery order? It's standard. Nope, can't view that. Nope, can't view that either. So, yeah, not transparent, not at all. Alright, America, this is where I'm going to let y'all go. If y'all haven't watched parts 1, 2, and 3, I encourage you to do so. There's a lot of good information in there and a lot of videos. I know I didn't provide a lot of video in this video, but I wanted to just show some of the documents and evidence that we have of the investigations that Mr. Stua was doing into these county employees. You know, he definitely should have had a change of venue. Definitely should have been. Definitely should have had a change of venue. Definitely should have had a different judge. Definitely should have had a different DA. It definitely should have probably had different attorneys. I don't know. I don't know if I would say that 100%, but it's definitely getting done in by the system. Stay free, America. Out.